Please welcome Jim Cummings.
Thanks, everybody. You're probably wondering why I called you here. I know I am. Why did I call him here?
It's all yours.
Oh, fine. I was afraid of that. So yeah, nice place you got here. I've haven't been here in a long time. I'm from Youngstown, right up the road, Steel City, another Steel City. The Steel City without not as much steel now. A lot of rust. If you need rust, we've got all the rust. No problem there. But it sure is great to be here. And the weather apparently is our friend today. Sort of, kind of, almost. We'll take it. But yeah, what's that? Yeah, what you said. And so yeah. But a nice place you got here. And what else? I'm supposed to tell you some stuff. I got a table over there if you need something autographed, and I'll be, healing the sick and anointing the infirm. And if you can't walk, I'll probably cure you, just in case. But other than that, I hope you're having a good time. And my friend here, what are we?
This
I never know if there's some discussion that I'm supposed to be talking about.
No, this is how we do this. It's your time on stage. Whatever you're comfortable with. Tell stories, get questions, take a nap, whatever you want to do.
Anybody got a deck of cards? Like a really, really big deck of cards? We could get something going. And folks always like to know how I started, and I started by being a really annoying kid. Hard to believe, right? But I was always like doing dolphin sounds in the back of the room. And Sister Mary Agnes says, well, we don't have dolphins here at St. Columba, do we, Mr. Cummings? And I was thinking, well, you got one. She loved that. The nuns loved me. No, they did not. But, later on they did, because I made like a scholarship or something for other crazy kids. And like I said, I was always in speech tournaments and everything. And I went to Ursuline High School in Youngstown. Not that you would have heard of it, but I'm sure you did. No, never mind. And so that was a lot of fun. And then I moved to New Orleans when I was 18. A buddy of mine, Bill Pfeiffer, wanted to go to Mardi Gras, and I thought, hell yes. I was working in a steel mill, a sheet and tube, and I really miss it. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Now I remember. But, so we moved down there, and it was like a whole new world. And I thought, oh, I'm going to do this. And then you start to starve. So I was a deckhand on a riverboat and on the Mississippi River. And two good things happened. A lot of good things happened. One, I didn't die, because that could very easily have happened. Kind of like a steel mill on the river, very safe place to work, right? But I got to learn the Cajun accent, because it's not a Southern accent. It's not like somebody from down south talking like, hey, I'll tell you what, and because the Cajun, they sound like that. It's another different one, yeah. You got to go to New Orleans, then you go out there in the bayou by yourself. And so I remember one of the first jobs I got in voiceover was as Leatherhead, and it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Y'all heard of them, I know. A couple people did. And when I got out on the boat, I could not understand it. It was his name was Léonce Leblanc. And he was from Napoleonville, Louisiana. And it was his very, very last time on the river. And he was in a boat called the Old Dutch. It was so cool. It looked like Tuffy the little tugboat. It looked just like that. And it was the oldest one on the river. He was definitely the oldest one on the river. And I was the firstest one on the river, the lastest and the youngest and the stupidest. And he was glad to point that out to me. And he told me, he said, I got a Yankee college boy for my last time on the river. God must be mad at me, yeah. And I said, well, I'm not in college. He goes, well, you better go. Because you ain't going to make it out here on this river, no. And I said, okay, well, and really what you do when you're a kid and you're a deckhand is you ship out on the boat because you were hungry. you couldn't get a job and then wait 2 weeks for the first paycheck. You were hungry today. So that was like the trick. You ship out and then you can eat that day. And that's why I was doing it. And I told him, I said, well, all I want to do is get out here and pass a good time and, maybe have a meal or two. And he goes, I'm going to teach you how to make red bean and rice. By the time you get off here, you're going to know how to make you them red beans and rice. So I do. I make riverboat red beans. I'll be serving some later. And but it was great. And next couple, few years after that, I got married and moved to California. And my first audition was one of the first auditions was for a Cajun alligator. And I said, oh, I know who I'm gonna do. So I did that, and I'm gonna go get them turtle. Yeah, I'm going to make turtle soup out of y'all. And I cannot help but think, he was sitting around, and his grandkids are playing in there, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come on, and they go, hey, Grandpa, come in here. Who does this remind you of right here? And I just hope that happened. That's like one of my favorite things. And then from there, I got the job at Dumbo Circus on the Disney Channel. My first job I ever got was for Disney. And my last job I ever got was for Disney. And so I'm a Disney guy. And if you ever get to Disneyland or Disney World, there's a hell of a ride now. Hondo's, I'm calling it Hondo's. It's actually, okay, it's Han Solo's ship, fine. But I steal it 500 times a day, and I promise I'll give each and every one of you a ride if you make it down. Because me and Chewbacca, I conned him into helping me steal his boss's ship about 500 times a day. So come on down. And the rest is mystery. I've been Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too since the mid-'80s, 85, 86. Somebody you probably know. And then Darkwing Duck and Tasmanian Devil and all these other weird guys, and it's all the stuff that used to get me kicked out of class. So I can't recommend it highly enough. And it beats the heck out of heavy lifting. And also, a lot of times folks have a lot of crazy questions, and by all means, ask away. Are you the roving cameraman?
It's one of them. Camera? There's another guy with another mic.
Is that how that works?
Work the audience.
But you have to say your name and your favorite dessert before you ask your questions. So if anybody has any questions, just let these guys know.
Can I start off?
I'll let you choose. Yes, take it away.
Okay, it's Michael, and strawberry shortcake is favorite dessert. So, the voice of Winnie the Pooh, who did you study? Was it Sterling Holloway? Was it Boz? Which Winnie the Pooh did you want to emulate?
Well, it was Winnie the Pooh. I mean, it was Sterling.
Sterling, absolutely.
I mean, no matter what, it was Sterling, yeah. And I never even got to meet him. I wish I did. Paul Winchell was a good friend of mine, God rest his soul.
Really?
But years before I was in the business, my wife and I were in Laguna Beach, California, and we thought we were the only people. It was like mid-afternoon, and we're sitting there, and I order something, and the waitress walks over, and she says to a corner booth, she says, so have we decided what we're going to have today? And I hear this little voice, I believe I shall have the chowder. And I went, and so I got up and I walked across the room, and there was Sterling. He was sitting there, looked like an albino crow. God bless him. And so he had the chowder, and I said, I shall have what he's having. And I never knew in 1,000 years that I would end up being, the next Winnie the Pooh. Because when we started it in the 80s, he hadn't been around for 20-some years. Now it's like he's everywhere. But back then he hadn't been around in a long time. So I'm glad to be here now. And yes.
We've got some questions right over here to your right.
Yes.
Thanks. Hi, Jim. My name's Steven, and my favorite dessert would be something with Reese's peanut butter, I'm assuming.
Sorry, that's wrong.
Okay, all right. I'll go back to the drawing board.
No, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm in.
Question is, you do a lot of different animal sounds, actually, and a lot of different characters from that as well. What would be your favorite animal noise? Oh, that's not a bear.
That's pretty good. That's not a bear. Yes, that was a good one, though. Yay. Don't do that very well. You can stop now. Okay. Never do that again. Thanks. Thanks so much. Well, I can't remember the question. No, what was my favorite? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry, a favorite character. That's not a bear.
You know, I like doing squirrels and whatever that is. And, geez, that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm a good dog. Wolf. See? Told you. I know, it gives me goosebumps, too.
Okay, and right down here in the aisle.
Yes. Hey.
Hello, Jim. My name is Andrew, and my favorite dessert is chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Well, I believe you.
Oh,
It would have to be with that delivery.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you agree. So, two quick questions I wanted to ask you. Of all the Disney characters that you've voiced over the years, like Darkwing Duck, that's one of my favorite cartoons.
And rightly so.
Yep. Let's get dangerous.
Boy, I'm in trouble with this card. Okay.
Anyway, so Darkwing Duck, Bonkers. Which of the Disney characters would you consider your personal favorite and how they influenced you? And the second question, what would be your favorite episodes of The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and the other Pooh movies, Christopher Robin, Winnie the Pooh, and Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin?
You left out a few. No, I'm just kidding. What is the question? The first one? What's my favorite character? Really?
Favorite Disney characters that you voiced over the years and how they've influenced your career?
Well, I don't know. You know, Pooh and Tigger are kind of in their own category. And then it's been pointed out that Darkwing Duck is closest to my personality because he's a wise guy, you know, and so that's cool, I guess. And then one of my favorites, honestly, in the past, I guess he's been around maybe 10 years, maybe a little more, is Hondo Ohnaka. I love him. Yeah, everybody likes him. Thanks. Yeah. And don't you think he should be in The Mandalorian? I would love to squeeze into one of those suits, you know, and hang out with all the, you know, Ahsoka and all the rest. And Rosario Dawson is Ahsoka Tano. And I met her at a couple cons. And I'm pretty sure she has a crush on me. I could be wrong. I don't know. But, and the second part was what now? Oh, yeah, you know, there was so many. Honestly, I can't. There was one about Skrull where he was under the bed and there was a dust monster or something, you know. They were all kind of my favorites. They really were. You know, one doesn't jump out at me. But I liked Search for Christopher Robin. That was a great one. And I liked Winnie the Pooh. That was like maybe 10 years ago. And it was just Winnie the Pooh. That was the title. And a lot of people thought it was just a remake or just a re-release of the one that was out like 25 years before that. And so it didn't do very well. But when people saw it, they went nuts over it. Because it was really funny. And, you know, and Tom Kenny, SpongeBob, he played Rabbit. And Craig Ferguson was in there, and he was Owl. And it was a great cast. We had a ball. And you know, I always thought that was a little bit of an unsung hero. And then Christopher Robin is my kind of one of my all-time favorites. It's, you know, that and Princess and the Frog are for me. Those are some of mine, you know. But what's that? Oh yeah. I almost wasn't Tigger. They had somebody, and somehow that got fixed. My daughter and Gracie and I went and saw the screening of it, and it was somebody else's Tigger, whose name I will remain nameless because he's a nice guy, but it just wasn't Tigger. He sounded like Edward G. Robinson or somebody. And the wonderful thing about Tigger is okay, with a real Rodney Dangerfield in there, and I was like, So, and my daughter had the line. She goes, "Daddy, you have to save Tigger." I said, "Okay." And then, you know, Mark Forster, the director, actually called like 10 seconds later and says, "Jim, I would like to talk with you about Tigger." And I said, "Okay." And now we get to have this conversation. So, yeah. Anyway.
We got a question for you
Yes,
right
sir.
over here.
John, and my favorite dessert is steak.
That's a damn fine dessert.
It is. He hit on my question a little bit. So, what is your
What's he
favorite
eat for
dessert?
dinner? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He hit on my question. So, what is your favorite dessert?
I like lemon meringue, and I like key lime pie, and Boston cream. That's not bad either. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
The other side of the room,
Oh, he's over there.
over here, with a question right here.
2 questions, that is. So the first one is, when you were working with the cast and crew of those Winnie the Pooh movies, you were working with John Fiedler, Paul Winchell, Ken Sansom, is that how it's pronounced? And a few others. And I'm wondering about what it was like to work with them.
It was pretty good. Anything else?
Yes. Before
No,
you
it was a
answer-
lot of fun. Great people. Great people. Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you from there. I'm really sorry.
No. That's fine.
Yeah. And, you know, when you were... The second question is, when you were talking about how you were trying to save Tigger, one of those things I noticed about Edward G. Robinson is that he's a Romanian-born actor. And, you know, when I heard both your voice as Tigger and Paul Winchell's voice as Tigger, I knew there were a lot of differences. But as a voice actor, you were able to make it into your own. And I'm also wondering, how were you able to go from having Paul Winchell doing it to you being able to fill in for him? How did you make your voice different from Paul's?
I don't know. You know, they just, you know, you just jump in, and that's kind of what came out. You know, Paul was a good friend of mine. You know, he had a, God bless him, he had a stroke, and he didn't sound like himself, you know, toward the end, and he kind of knew it. But he was a really, really great man. He was a great ventriloquist. I don't know if you guys, a lot of people won't be old enough to remember that. And he also invented one of the first artificial hearts.
That is correct.
You know, Tigger, Knucklehead Smith invented the artificial heart. It's an obvious progression. You know, oh, that again? You know. Anyway, God bless him.
All right.
Yeah.
We got one right up front here for you.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Chris, and my favorite dessert is fried dough.
Fried who?
Fried dough.
Oh.
Like carnival fried dough. So I'm I know, right? I'm a teacher, and my question to you is, you know, you talk about making the noises in class and doing that. And I want to support my students without them being distracting. So what would you suggest, like what would you have wanted your teachers to do to help you foster that into something when you were a kid? Because I want my kids to be creative and artistic.
Yeah. Well, for me, you know, you know, it was kind of like, and my mom was instrumental in this. She goes, well, save it for being in a play or being on the speech team or something. You know, don't Tourette your little self all day long in math class and English, and you know, but you know, you just channel it. You know, with me, it was just channeling. And when I got into high school, then there was the speech team, which didn't have in grade school, but you know, I tried debate, and that wasn't really my thing. But then I got into individual events, and I did a show. You do cuttings from plays in that, and then you just do every single character in there. And I did Guys and Dolls, and I did a thing called Green Pastures, and I did really well with it. I was like number 2 or something in the state. And I think that's the key is, you know, you have a crazy kid like me. Come on, Jimmy, get down off the ceiling. He's on the ceiling again. Get down, you know, it's that kind of thing. They have to give him something to channel that stuff, you know. And that's how it worked with me. Yeah, I was him. He's really a cute kid. He's yanking, you know. Anyway, I hope nobody has a me for a kid.
A question right down the middle.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. My name is Donna, and is there any
Dessert.
anything with honey?
Oh, that's a good answer.
Is there any character that they you didn't want to do, but you did it instead? But you did anyway.
No, only one. There was, oof, this is a sad story. There was just one, and it was, God, it's got to be like 15, 20 years ago. It was a Stephen King movie, and there was that movie Christine that came out, and it was really good. It was about the ghost car, possessed car. Well, this one was like and it was called The Mangler. Anybody see it? Please say no. Damn it. Well, I apologize, but I was the Mangler. Thank you. Title character. I'm so proud. Anyway, it kind of smelled, the movie, and it was about a gigantic, I mean, it wasn't a car that would run around and maybe kill you, run you over, right? No. This was a giant ironing board. Swear to God. Industrial Revolution, giant, stupid, butthead ironing board that you could probably iron a circus tent in. And all of a sudden, you know, people that worked in this factory began disappearing. Where'd Lenny go? I don't know. He was by the giant ironing board. Well, and you know, and then somebody will turn around, then somebody else will get ironed to death, and there's no blood. There's no. And I'm thinking, well, they found out. Unplug it. Unplug it. We win. Humanity is saved. You know, and it's like nobody the whole movie figures that stuff out. Oh, this is terrible. What shall we do? Stay the hell away. You know, unplug it, leave the building. We won. You know, so, and then, but my best thing was, and I went out and I saw it in Simi Valley. It didn't have a big premiere or anything. I snuck into the matinee, and I'm sitting there going, oh, it's as bad as I thought it would be. And I had to do like, they didn't know what to do to have a sound, because it has to have some sound. So I did 3 sounds, and then they mixed it together. So it doesn't sound like, you know, one was, you know, sound very charming. And then the other one was, and I don't remember the third one, thank God, right? And at the end of it, and I'm going, oh, this movie stinks so bad. And then I'm reading the credits, and I go, all right, I might as well. And they put, my name is Jim, as with the J. Well, there it was, Tim Cummings. Yes. I'll tell you that, Tim, he's something. He's something else, and he ain't me. Thank you very much. Yeah, you get the concept, don't you? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for bringing it up.
All right, Jim, over here to your right, we've got a question right up front.
Hey, I've got an answer.
Hi, my name is Chantel, and my favorite dessert would be donuts.
Ah.
My question is, what advice would you give to someone who has the talent for voices and noises and might want to get into the career but doesn't know where to start?
Go to college. You know. You know, every town, no matter where you live, there's gonna be some actor, some you know, singer that's gonna have a workshop, you know, a voice workshop, acting workshop. And remember, it's an acting job first. It's not, you know, you're not just doing sound effects, unless you are just doing sound effects. And you know, just approach it as an acting job and go and find, because there's going to be somebody in your town, no matter where you live, and they're going to have acting lessons. And then you figure out, you hammer out the stuff that you're good at, you know, accents, you know, whatever it may be, you know, another language, and then you kind of mix and match, and you do a high voice, a low voice, a gruff voice, a smooth voice. You make that demo, and then you shop around to agents, and then you get jobs, and then you live happily ever after. And then you get to come here and talk to you guys. Yay. That's how you do it. Did that answer the question at all? A little bit, I hope. No. Okay.
And
hey,
right off to your left, right here, another one.
Hi, my name is Wesley. My favorite dessert would be probably strawberry milkshake.
Nice. Okay.
I can't tell you how much your career has meant to me. I'm a huge fan. I've wanted to let you know that, among other things, the part of Ray, my mother wanted me to tell you, if I got the chance, that she absolutely adores that, and she thinks it's your best role. But she also, of course, loves Winnie the Pooh and all of that. My
Well, you know the women love a man with a big back pouch. Woo, you know that's right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just my big butt glowing. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
No, I love it. I love it. My question is, has there ever been a role that you want to play or wanted to play that you've never gotten to that you really loved? And I have a second one after that.
Yeah, I wanted to be Marge Simpson, but it just totally didn't work. No, actually. No, there isn't. Believe it or not. I mean, because otherwise it would be like envy or something, and I don't really have any. I'm doing fine.
Oh, great.
So far, so good.
The second thing I had is we most of us have probably seen the part where you did Winnie the Pooh as Darth Vader on when Comic-Con.
Oh, that
whatever.
got popular. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I was wondering. I have a page here. I was wondering if you could do. It's lines from. No, is that okay? It was
Oh,
lines
sure.
from
Let
the
me read a
Joker.
book on tape for you.
No, it's lines from the Joker of Batman, and I was thinking maybe you could do one of your characters or whatever. But it's up to you.
Is it Mark Hamill's Joker?
No, it's Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, I was kidding. That's fine. But okay. Well, I don't know Keith Ledger, but
I was thinking you could.
There's a lot of words here.
There's a lot of words here.
It's a big.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Look, he's got a whole page.
That's about $3,000 worth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if I charge you, it's going to be no. Give me one line.
Good ass though.
One line.
One line.
I was thinking perhaps
A really short one.
Sure. It's I just did what I do best. I was thinking maybe like Tigger doing it. I just did what I do best. I took your little plan and I turned it on itself.
I just did what I do best. I bounced. Thank you.
There you go. You got it.
I couldn't remember all the rest, but I knew I could bounce.
All right, got another question for you right here.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Cummings.
Hello.
My name's Mackenzie, and my favorite dessert is cake. I love cake. And I just have a question. How do you keep your vocal cords top notch? Because you play so many characters.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Well, you know, I've been singing since I was a little kid, you know, so I've probably got leather vocal cords anyway. But I never have smoked. I've got every cigarette I ever smoked right now in my hand. And, I'm not a big whiskey guy or all that stuff, you know. And you just take care of it. It's an instrument, you know. Your voice is an instrument. And that's my axe. So, you know, I go to football games and boxing matches, something. I'm not going, yeah, that's not me. I'm going, hooray. You know, that's nice and doesn't hurt, see. So you take care of it, you know. You know, if I was a quarterback, I'd be looking out for my shoulder or, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Question right down the middle.
Sir.
Hi, my name is Troy, and my favorite dessert is my mom's homemade pound cake with caramel icing.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're all following you home. We going over to Mom's after this, are we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm learning the recipe to do it myself, so I don't have to bother her so much. My question is, do you and your fellow voice actors ever get together and, like, have a voice showdown where y'all just sit around and just, like...
You know, we do it and we don't intend to. We'll just run into each other at a job and somebody will be Christopher Walken. Next thing you know, we're all Christopher Walken. You know, it's crazy. I had this honey pot up, never mind. You know, so, you know, pool. So the answer is, yeah, we do.
One over there.
All right, we got a question over here to your right.
Hi, my name's Peter, and my favorite dessert is chocolate lava cake. And
Nice.
First, I'm going to say thanks, like everyone here. I'm sure you did a lot for our childhood. You were part of our childhood, whether it was the movies or whatever. And Aladdin's my favorite movie of all time. So thank you for putting Rasul in there.
Aladdin? Oh, yeah.
My question is, what's the mindset to go, especially with like Darkwing Duck, when you have to go from Darkwing to Negaduck in the same scene? Is there anything different, or you don't? How do you mentally switch from a good guy to a bad guy?
Well, I don't know. First of all, I think you should stand up and show everybody this cool shirt. Check him out. Let's get dangerous.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good job. And you know, this sounds weird. This is a terrible answer, but I don't think of it. I really should have some really intelligent, well-conceived, thought-out answer for that, but I'm fresh out. I think it comes from being schizophrenic, and we're schizophrenic. and we are too. So, it works out. It's okay. I just, it's just like a good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. It's easier to do that than to be like Pooh and then Piglet. That would be harder to do. Whereas being Pooh and then Tigger, it's not so hard because they're farther apart, and they're far apart. So it helps, Thanks.
Got time for 3 more questions. I have them all back here rapid fire. So 3 questions. Let's do this.
Hi, I'm...
Nice and close.
Thank you. Okay, my favorite...
Name first.
My name is Anastasia. My favorite dessert is cherry pie.
Nice.
And my question for you is, with all the voice acting that you've done throughout your life, have you ever thought of compiling, writing a book about your experiences? Because I know some other voice actors have started to do that, like Dan Gilvezan, for example. Would that be something you'd ever be interested in doing?
Well, I might be doing something like that. Yeah, I'm kind of in the throes of something very similar to that. And your name is Anastasia, and I sang a song in Anastasia. I was in the dark of the night. It was Christopher Lloyd. You were supposed to think it was Christopher Lloyd. And I'll just tell you real quick. He's a good guy, by the way. And they're going. I do a lot of stunt singing. I jokingly call it stunt singing. It's when an actor can't sing and a singer can't act, and I can't do either. So they let me do both. And so it's kind of cool. And we were playing the song, and it was very Andrew Lloyd Webber. It was like Phantom of the Opera. Come, my minions, bum. And he goes, wow, I bet I'm going to sound really good. And then he left. And then I sang the song and he came back in later. He goes, wow, I sound pretty good. So he sounded pretty good. and now you have the story.
Okay, question over here.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Jamie, and my favorite dessert is tiramisu.
Bless you.
Gentleman up there actually took my question, and he answered it already, so I'm asking if you can do a favor. For the final question, can you answer it as Tigger? Because Tigger's always been my favorite, and I love Tigger.
And they're wonderful things. Don't forget that part.
Okay, so we have our final question, and possibly could do it in the Tigger voice. Where was the last question back here?
She's giving her question.
What was up? Oh, that's right.
Amazing.
All right, let's get the last question up here. Oh, let's try and... I got an idea.
Okay. Steel City Comic-Con. Into tomorrow.
My name is Derek, and my
Look at that.
favorite
It's
dessert
a magic
is...
box.
My favorite dessert is marshmallows on cheese pizza.
Yes. Ooh.
It's good. It's really good. But I know
Meanwhile, back on Earth.
I know you're... I know everyone knows you best for the usual stuff, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, but have you had fans where they loved you for like parts you that were
parts
kind
of me?
Like, no.
Well,
like
a couple.
Unusual parts you don't usually hear, like maybe Dr. Robotnik from Sonic or the Terror Master from Splatterhouse. And how do you react to fans knowing like parts that aren't as well known as the usual Disney crew?
Oh, I don't know.
And remember, you got to answer this as Tigger.
I don't know. This is very mysterious. I don't understand the question. How do I bounce about what?
No, how do I don't, about people not knowing about certain parts, that's okay. If they don't know about the Mangler, that'd be just fine. But most of them, they'll seek their own level, like Pooh and Tigger and Darkwing and probably Taz and Hondo and Ray, certain people from movies. They're better known, and that's fine. It's funny because when Disney character voices first started up, my buddy Bill Farmer was Goofy, and so they had his name and then Goofy, and different people. At Wayne and Rusey at the time were Mickey and Minnie, and then they were going, so what do you want on there? And I went, oh gosh, and so because it could be Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing, King Louie, and I was like, we're not going to embroider the whole jacket. You look like what the hell's this guy? So I just put various, and so that I'm various now. I'm not sure I answered your question, but I think I came close.
Came very close.
Came very close. All right. Thank you.
You're going to be headed back to your table now to sign?
Yeah. If you want me to sign something for you.
Oh, come on, give it up.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Jim Cummings.
God bless.
Jim Cummings, give it up.
Be good to each other. Thank you
awesome
very
job.
much. Thank you.
Hi, this is Michael Shanks, and you're watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The fate of the universe may depend on it. And have fun and follow your fandom.